So just before we get started, folks, by way of an introduction to today's topic and AT&T's Cloud Voice with Webex Go solution, here's a short introductory video.
With hybrid work on the rise, almost half of all business calls are shifting to mobile devices. Keeping your employees and customers connected anywhere, on any device, is key to your business success. Imagine greater flexibility for your workforce by integrating their mobile devices into your existing unified communications solution. Now you can with AT&T Cloud Voice with Webex Go, a mobile-first UC experience that allows your employees to extend their AT&T business mobile number to their desk phone and Webex application. Calls come in natively. There's no need to open a mobile app. When receiving a Webex call, it will come in just like any mobile call. Employees can also collaborate on the go by seamlessly moving calls to different devices and even promoting a voice call to a Webex meeting. It allows you to unify your business communications by combining call history, voicemail, and presence across devices. And say goodbye to choppy data. When AT&T provides preferential quality of service to Webex Go application data, it will help deliver a clean, consistent mobile user experience, especially during times of network congestion. It's a secure private network connection between the AT&T wireless network and the Webex platform. And rest easy, knowing you can more securely record calls and manage your business policies across mobile devices for compliance. All with high-quality audio over your 5G-enabled business mobile phone. AT&T Cloud Voice with Webex Go, the key to unlocking a hybrid workforce. Experience the AT&T business difference.
Hi, I'm Rob Scott from UC Today, and in this video, I'm talking to Doug Jones, AVP of Product Management at AT&T, who will delve into the evolving concept of a mobile-centric workplace, a model gaining traction in the modern enterprise. So there's a shift happening from conventional UCaaS solutions to mobile-first strategies. This is a must-watch for business leaders navigating hybrid, frontline, and remote workforces. Also, joining today's discussion is Chris Pisker from Diamond Pet Foods, who's going to share his real-world experience with the implementation of AT&T Cloud Voice with Webex Go. So shedding a light on the challenges and transformative outcomes this solution brought to his organization. And just before we kick off, I'd like to invite all viewers to participate in our up-and-coming webinar for a deeper dive into the AT&T Cloud Voice with Webex Go solution. You're going to find a link in the description or comments below. Great to see you both, and thanks again for joining me. Really keen on kickstarting today's conversation. A really interesting trend that's happening right now. First of all, Doug, over to you first. Can you define mobile-centric workplace for our audience and explain why organizations should pivot from this, to this model right now?
Sure. We essentially find ourselves in a mobile-centric workplace. That's been created by the fact that virtually everybody in the workplace has a mobile phone. Whether that phone is provided by themselves or their personal device, or whether it's a company-provided device, regardless of what it is, virtually everybody has a mobile device, and it's found its way into the workplace. However, everyone doesn't have a enterprise-grade mobile-first solution for that workplace. Some of the problems that have been created by introducing a mobile phone into the workplace are things such as having separate identities. Now that companies have an identity on your mobile phone with your mobile phone number, an employee might have an identity on their desk phone or their UC application. Separate identities creating problems with how to coordinate, integrate between the two. Also having a single identity when you're calling someone, having a single caller ID, having one for your mobile phone, one for your desk phone, maybe one again for UC application. When you call somebody, how do they know who you are? Being able to reach you. Now you've got multiple places for people to be reached in that mobile first environment without the right solution, as well as compliance, making sure that when you have a mobile device, you've got all the same security and compliance capabilities on the mobile device that you used to have in your UC application on your desk phone. So certainly this is something the entire world is moving into, a mobile-centric workplace, but the key here, as we'll talk about, is making sure you've got the right solution to meet those needs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The world's not got any easier, has it, to navigate? And the simpler the solution for the users, ultimately, the better the solution. So, Chris, any thoughts?
I agree. What you just said there, the simplest solution is the best. It's been one of those tackles that we need to try to figure out how to handle is how do you move these users that are so used to using just their cell phone when they're out of the office, their desk phone when they're in the office. Now, with this solution, you could use either or, and it works like you're in one spot. It's just easy.
Yeah, indeed. Doug, what are the primary user preferences and needs when it comes to mobile solutions, and how do you personalize these solutions to fit specific job roles, and ultimately, what are some of the most popular use cases and personas you've encountered?
Sure, great question. There certainly are both problems that are created from that mobile-centric workplace, but also solutions that we've integrated into these capabilities. Some of those include a single phone number. So with this solution, your wireless phone number becomes your business identity, so that when you're placing calls, that wireless phone number is used as your caller ID, regardless of what device you're placing the call from. So whether you're placing it from your desk phone or from the UC application or from your mobile phone, your caller ID is going to be the same, so that who you're calling knows it's you, and most importantly, knows it's your business identity as opposed to a personal phone number. Integration with the UC application provides many feature functionality or capabilities here, such as no longer having multiple voicemail boxes, so that you've got voicemail associated with your mobile phone and voicemail associated with the UC application and or with your desk phone. Now integrating the UC application integrates your voicemail. Integrating your texting capabilities into a single place, so you no longer have texting on your phone and texting or chatting via UC application. Now integrating those into a single text chat capability. And things like compliance, where many UC applications have very good compliance capabilities for the UC application or for the desk phone, but with the mobile phone not being interconnected, you lose a lot of those compliance capabilities. Now, with integration of the two, you have integrated compliance capabilities, so you can be sure that any business transactions that are held on your mobile phone are as secure and compliant as those are on your desk phone or in the UC application.
It's interesting, isn't it? And Chris, I'm sure you're going to give us a real world experience here, but what does it look like from your perspective, Chris, in terms of user preferences? Could you overlay the same solution to everyone, or does everyone want more of a personalized experience nowadays?
Well, and that's the great thing. With this, you can personalize it to however they want. The caller ID is a huge issue at our company. Some people don't want their cell phones their numbers going out to individual users. They would rather just have the plant number being presented, and it's just that easy. You can change that in 2 clicks. The voicemail has always been, hey, how do I get my voicemail from my iPhone back over to my desk? I want to be able to listen to it. And what Doug is saying is it's just all there in one spot. I guess the biggest challenge to that is convincing people that it's actually in just one spot.
And if I may, Rob, to expand on that, it's in one spot, and it's in one spot to provision and to manage. That's something that we worked hard with Cisco on, is creating as easy experience as possible for the admin, so they don't have to go to multiple portals. They don't have to go to a wireless portal to do things and to a UC application portal to do everything else. With the Webex solution, it's a single place, the control hub, the same place that Webex users are used to going to administer their users. Now they go to a single place to administer these capabilities and assign them to their users, pulling in their AT&T wireless phone numbers and assigning them to the users, and using the control hub that they're familiar with using in order to provision these features.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but we were concerned when we did this that we would have to do things, and we use Premier, AT&T Premier, to manage our cell phones, and now it's to the point where Premier is just there to order a phone, and we use everything else through Control Hub.
Yeah, that makes good sense. And Chris, just to give us a bit of background on the investment, what led you to invest in AT&T Cloud Voice with Webex Go, and what kinds of big rocks did you need to move? What challenges did you have?
Well, the challenges were old school manufacturing. We're Technology is very slow to change in a manufacturing environment. So we were in an on-prem UC application for many, many years. And then 2020 came around and everybody got sent home. And we had the, now what do we do? Scenario. We had to hurry up and ramp up our VPN capabilities so that users can get into the network, so they can launch Finesse from their desktop, and then have IP communicators on their desktop. It was very an incomplete solution and challenging, and that led us to wanting to move to a Webex solution. But the user management executive board was still very concerned about the cost involved in changing and having additional PSTNs assigned to. And when we spoke to AT&T and Cisco at the last live, it was brought to our attention that they were bringing this solution to the end users, and we jumped at it. And the simple fact of it's as easy as typing in a phone number into your portal, it comes back in a matter of time, and now your cell phone is your PSTN main hub for Webex locations. It was a no-brainer.
Great, and Cisco, and Webex and unified communications, from Cisco, already kind of baked into your stacks, already a trusted vendor within that kind of UC stack. Were there any deciding factors? Not only it was the incumbent solution, but the any kind of big differentiators that stood out?
I mean, the big differentiators was the fact that everything is in one device, and it's a native single number reach, right? We've always talked about single number reach for many, many years. But really what that really was call forwarding. And the number goes from this location to this location. Now you're on this island, back to this island. This solution puts us all on one island. And there's no more, hey, I took that call on my cell phone, I guess the voicemail's over there. Or I took that on my desk, I guess the voicemail's over there. The ability to pull a number, and it's instantaneous. It's no longer I'm transferring, let it ring, pick it up. You pull the number from one device to another, and it's there. And that's what really sold our team, our decision makers on the process.
And we also worked hard with Cisco to make it easy to obtain those features. Essentially, they are free features. We've made it an entitlement or part of the AT&T wireless network. So as long as all you need is an AT&T wireless phone, if you don't have one, we of course like to obtain one. But if you already have one, you already have these capabilities. There's nothing extra to buy, nothing extra to contract for. It's a free capability, just like Cisco's done with their Webex calling subscription. They've made it an entitlement as part of a Webex calling subscription. So as long as you have a Webex calling subscription, again, there's nothing extra to buy, nothing extra to purchase, no extra contracts. And made it easy to obtain those from your normal distribution channels. No special company to go to, no third party you have to go this to. You get your AT&T phone from your AT&T channel. You obtain your Webex subscription from whatever your normal Webex route is, and then you've got everything you need in order to make this work.
Fantastic. I'd really like to explore what kind of reactions you got from not only your internal users, but also your customers. Chris, any insight there?
So far, so good. And I want to premise this that we've been using this for about 3 months. And the end user's reaction to the ability of how easy things are really amazing. If you've been in the industry long enough, whenever you roll out new platforms, it's usually many months of hurdles trying to convince the end user that what you're doing is actually going to help you in the long run, right? With this, it's pretty much day one when they start seeing the feature sets work. Like, oh, I wish you would have gave us wish you would have done this last year when this and this was going on, or this, it's been a very positive experience from A to Z.
That's great. And Doug, from your perspective, we've been talking FMC type solutions for a long time. have we finally arrived with mobile UC?
It's easy for me to say, but absolutely, it's the time is now. We have been talking about FMC for, I don't know, at least a decade. And it's been okay in each incremental release or improvement. It's come along with making it better, but I'd say we're there. Like what Chris has said over and over again, it's just easy. Starting out with, you don't need a separate app on your phone. It's just pick up your phone and dial using your normal dialer on your phone, and you place phone calls. You receive calls the same way. You just pick up your phone and answer it. You don't have to have an app loaded. You don't have to have the app running. You don't have to have it unlocked. You just pick up your phone and answer it. And it goes from there. So I do think we've gotten to that point of it's so easy to use that why not use the capabilities?
Yeah, and I'd like to add, I mean, with what Doug just said there, I would say the biggest confusion to the user is the fact that it's so easy. They're like, what do you mean I don't need the app? I can just pick up my iPhone native dialer and dial an extension, or it's been very pleasant. The fact of the whole AT&T Cisco making it work just in a native format has been remarkable.
And I'd like to mention something we were talking about offline, Doug, which was I know you do some quite clever wizardry behind the scenes with the prioritization of the data and the voice on the app. So can you just talk us through how that worked? Because that sounded quite interesting and a real kind of differentiator for AT&T.
Yeah, thanks. We've worked hard again with Cisco to make this experience for the end users a secure and reliable connection. And by doing that, what we've done is we've directly connected our networks, the Cisco platform, as well as the AT&T wireless network directly. And that provides a lot of power and a lot of capabilities. Things like being able to prioritize the voice portion of your session above other traffic on the AT&T wireless network, because we're integrating and using what we call the VoLTE or voice over LTE network. That provides and prioritizes the voice above other traffic on the AT&T wireless network, providing you with the absolute best possible voice experience for a Webex session. Likewise, for the data side, we prioritize the Webex data above other data on the AT&T wireless network using features like Fast Track in order to be able to provide the best experience possible for Webex on the AT&T wireless network. So we've done things to make sure that data is directly connected, it stays off the public internet, and it provides the best experience possible for our customers.
Very nice. And I know, I mean, as you'll all be very well aware, security and compliance, big issues, continue. And we're seeing a lot more of that in the collaboration and UC space. So in terms of, how you deliver this, to be secure and compliant at the AT&T, gold standard and the Cisco Webex gold standard, what kinds of things need to be considered here, given the complexities that exist nowadays?
Yeah, that's one of the things that mentioned earlier is the challenges that have been created by the mobile first integration of the workplace without having the right solution, is that loss of some of this compliance, especially it's highlighted in the finance segment market, where might have seen some fines being handed out by the government because of a lack of controls, a lack of compliancy controls that their employees have in the banking industry. And now with this solution, you no longer have that loss of control, that all your recording capabilities, call log capabilities, all those compliance features that are part of the UC application that companies have control over and can manage properly on their desk phone and on UC application now extend to their mobile device, because you're turning your mobile device into a Webex endpoint. So no longer any concerns for not being able to keep track of what phone calls are being placed or being received by the employees, or being able to record those calls. Or any and all those calls on those employees' devices. Those are some of the compliance features now that the companies can regain by integrating the mobile experience with their UC application.
Yeah. Chris, anything to add there?
I know people in the finance industry, and I was just having this conversation, and that is, I was selling this product to someone, and their eyes lit up to what Doug was just saying about pulling that compliance back in, that security, because they used to have all these apps on their phones, on their personal cell phones, just to record conversations and text messaging. You make it a Webex endpoint, that concern goes away.
Super. And with these two partners in place, these two very well-known vendors delivering very high-end enterprise solutions. Chris, reliability, quality, and I promise I've not paid Chris to say this, but what's it been like?
Calls, everything quality, and again, it's been a short time, and we have had absolutely no complaints. In fact, I would say the Webex side of it, the meetings, if you transfer into a meeting of that nature, the call quality is fantastic. Video quality is fantastic. We have been a UCaaS solution for many, many years, so convincing people that cloud calling, cloud meetings are going to be more stable than on-prem it's going to be an ongoing battle and challenge, but we have not experienced anything negative in the time that we've been using it.
And for anyone that may have used this, a Webex app on a 5G connection, is there any noticeable difference in terms of reliability and quality?
Not from our users. The 5G, it's just like if you were on-prem. From what we have perceived over the last 4 months, it has been, like I said, if I had negatives to compare to, I would, but we've had nothing but positives for the last couple months. So it's really hard to say that it's better or worse than it was 6-7 months ago.
Yeah. And every user is different, in a different place, doing something different with a different device, and we're all up against it, aren't we, with the environment that we use these apps in. Doug, what's it look like from your perspective? Reliability and quality. What do you hear from your partners and customers?
Yep, that's a key to making all this work. Is having a reliable, secure wireless network, 5G network. Not only for the connectivity, making sure you got a good connection, a reliable connection, but also the integration with the network with the platform, where we've integrated the 5G network with the Cisco's, as I mentioned, provides you with that direct connection without having to go over the public internet and not being sure how those connections are going to work or what's going to happen. And then that native integration, the fact that, as Chris was talking about, you just pick up the phone and you answer it, or you pick up the phone and place a call because of that integration with the 5G network. Remember, it may not be too long ago when people used to almost automatically default their phones to Wi-Fi because you get a better network connection because you're on Wi-Fi. Now, with the AT&T 5G network, we're getting feedback, like Chris just said, you no longer need to do that. You don't no longer need to make sure you've got a Wi-Fi connection to default to when you got a business call, because you've got that as part of the AT&T 5G network.
Fantastic.
And just to add there, the interchange capabilities, even when you move into an area that you may have Wi-Fi and then 5G, in years past, you drop a call. You transfer from 5G over to the Wi-Fi, it kind of gets sketchy. Now, with this handshake with Cisco and the Webex private network, I have yet to see a call drop coming from 5G over into the internal Wi-Fi, handing it off, pulling it out to my desk phone. It's just been seamless. So there's been a lot of background, and Doug would be the one that knows what the background work has been done. But from a user perspective, you can definitely see the benefits of it.
That's great. And AT&T Cloud Voice with Webex Go is soon to become generally available. Doug, do you see this becoming mainstream? Do you think this trend is going to continue to increase in popularity?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as I said earlier, I think we're there. Because we've solved not only the technology issue, but the end user issues to just make it easy. It just works. And so it's really very little issues for anyone to adopt and deploy. And it adds all those additional capabilities. So absolutely, I think the time is now to look deeper into these type of capabilities and to deploy them.
Any thoughts, Chris? What do you think the future
I would agree. I mean, you can't look too far into the future, and you don't know what else is going to come around. But as for right now, the time is now. It's going to make this adaptable to mainstream very quickly.
Well, I really appreciate you joining us today, Chris. It's been fantastic talking to you. Doug, for anyone out there looking to dig a little bit deeper on this, I know we're going to be covering the AT&T Cloud Voice Webex Go solution ongoing on UC today, but what's the best way to find out more?
Yep, a couple ways. First is we've got an upcoming webinar. And so I encourage people to dive into the description for the link to the upcoming webinar. And also there is some interesting market research information that's available via the link in the description as well. So a couple ways to encourage people to, if they'd like to dive in deeper and learn more about it.
Well, unfortunately, we have run out of time. Doug and Chris, a big thank you for sharing your expertise and experiences with us. And a big thank you to everyone for joining us on behalf of UC Today and today's sponsors, AT&T and Webex by Cisco. Thanks for watching.